Welcome all to the first of my video series, my climate change videos debunking video series. This video will be purely academic and will introduce numerous scientific concepts and properties that will be fully explained in upcoming videos in my upcoming videos. This is to ensure that we get to the point as quick as possible. So this video will be very compact and very concise, and we'll get to the heart of the matter as soon as possible. Information contained in this video series is an internet and worldwide exclusive and has never been presented to the world before. This information you can never find this information on any secondary, primary, or tertiary level education curriculum. The reason why such a rigorous, irrefutable, and sound scientific knowledge is not available, this information is not available to the world, is a subject that I will will cover in one of my upcoming videos. But for now, this video, it is safe to say that this video will finally put to rest this very deceptive and corrosive the lies that has been perpetrated on mankind for the past 8 to 9 decades, and has very devastating effect on mankind's peace and prosperity. This is the beginning of the end of the climate change debate. The climate change debate will be finally put to rest beginning with these videos, so that mankind can finally throw out the shackle of this very corrosive lie that has held us back for so long and has caused so much pain and suffering to the common man. So sit back, relax, and have your mind expanded, and have your mind open. Thank you. So to begin the process, we will first look at the claims that the climate alarmists are making about carbon dioxide, and they are as follows. 1. The Earth climate is warming due to the burn of fossil fuel and the elevated carbon dioxide level that comes with it. That's the first claim. Secondly, they claim that carbon dioxide causes a rise in atmospheric temperature by trapping heat due to its scattering and reflecting of terrestrial radiation back to the Earth's surface. And finally, they are claiming that this increase in atmospheric temperature represents an existential threat to the survival of mankind due to atmospheric catastrophes such as drought, hurricane, floods, and loss of habitable human biomes. In this slide, I will show you how I will go about debunking this climate change claim that was made by the climate alarmists. First and foremost, I will first identify various important physical and thermodynamic scientific properties and qualities relevant to the subject of climate change and weather. There are others, but these are the ones that I will be presenting first. and introducing first. Secondly, I'll then present a first ever seen and exclusive comparative analysis of each of these scientific properties in regards to the various atmospheric components to see how each of these components ranks in regards to their effect on heat in the atmosphere. Very important. Finally, I will present a greenhouse potency comparative analysis that will definitely show where carbon dioxide ranks in comparison to the other atmospheric components in the grand scheme of things in regards to its greenhouse effect in our atmosphere. So here are the scientific properties and qualities that I will be using to make this video, that I will be introducing to you all in making the comparative analysis, and they are as follows. First and foremost is specific heat capacity, which is one of the most important scientific property. Secondly, there's the thermal conductivity. Then there's relative density, also known as relative gravity. There's also the infrared radiation interaction with the various atmospheric components, and the atmospheric concentration of each atmospheric component. These 5 qualities is enough to start us off in a very strong manner to debunk climate change. There are others that I will be introducing later on, but these are the main ones that I will be concentrating on from this point onward. Here we'll be having a look at the major and relevant atmospheric components, and they are as follows. 1. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, one that most of us know, argon, water vapor, and the clouds. The clouds, which is consists of very fine water droplets. So these are the 6 atmospheric components that we will be using to compare against each other to see how they stack up in regards to the scientific properties that we have aforementioned in the prior slides. Here on this first comparative analysis, we will be taking into consideration the atmospheric concentration of each component. The concentration of each atmospheric component play a direct role in the overall effect in regards to the trapping, holding, and moving of heat in the environment. The greater the component concentration in the atmosphere, all other things equal, the greater will be its overall effect on the atmosphere. And as you can see by the comparison to your right, all component combined give 100%. Nitrogen, which is the most plentiful gas or components in the atmosphere, comprise a whopping 78.08%. Oxygen comes second in place with 20.95%, and water vapor it varies on the location of Earth and can vary from between 0.02 to 4% of the atmosphere. Argon, which is a noble gas and is very reactive, plays little into the atmospheric greenhouse gas effect, comes in at a 0.93%. 0.90%. Water droplet comes in at 0.49%. That's water droplets in the atmosphere itself. And carbon dioxide, as you can see, is the lowest. It is the lowest concentrated greenhouse gas components in the atmosphere. And as you can see, it comes in as a whopping 0.04 percentage. So here we'll be looking at the specific heat capacity, which is the first scientific property that I will be investigating and we will be using to compare the atmospheric components. And we will define it as follows. The specific heat capacity is the scientific measure of how much heat a specific substance has to absorb in order to change its temperature by 1 degrees Kelvin or Celsius, and is measured by in the SI unit of joules per kilograms Kelvin. So what is this? What is this quality? The higher the specific heat capacity, the more heat that a substance must absorb to change its temperature, and thus make it more potent in not only absorbing heat but also in holding and trapping of this heat. So the higher the specific capacity, the more it wants to hold on to the heat and the more heat can hold. Simply put, substance with lower specific capacity will heat up faster than substance with higher specific capacity, and these lower specific capacity substance is also willing to give up any excessive heat to the other substance of higher specific capacity that surrounds it in order to maintain a cooler temperature. So therefore, in the grand scheme of thing, if the substance of different specific capacities mixed together, one with the lower specific capacity will warm up faster, but will also pass on the heat to the ones of higher specific capacity. So finally, the specific capacity is therefore literally a measure of the greenhouse gas effect potency of the atmospheric gas or component. So let us look at the comparative analysis of specific capacity of the various atmospheric components. And as you can see already, naturally, look where carbon dioxide is. Carbon dioxide is number 7. The gas with the lowest specific capacity in the atmosphere, it's argon, and that's an inert gas. Plays a little role in the atmosphere itself. But as you can see, water vapor as a specific capacity, water droplet, which is a cloud, has a specific capacity of more than 4 that of carbon dioxide. Water vapor has a specific capacity that doubles that of carbon dioxide. Nitrogen and oxygen is also higher, as a higher specific. So therefore, nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor are all more potent, and I repeat, more potent greenhouse gases greenhouse component than carbon dioxide. So in looking at the first scientific measure, it is obviously painfully obvious to show that whatever the climate hoax is stating is absolutely preposterous, because the basic science shows it that carbon dioxide is not an important scientific greenhouse gas effect as the rest, when compared to the other qualities we'll see later as the video progresses. On this slide, we will be looking at the scientific properties of thermal conductivities, and it is also another important property in which we can assess the potency of the various climate components. To define it, thermal conductivity is a scientific property that determines how good of a conductor or insulator a substance is in regards to conducting heat, and is measured in watt per Kelvin, per meter Kelvin. Good thermal conductor has a very high thermal conductivity, and good thermal insulator has a correspondingly low thermal conductivity. All gases are naturally have a very low thermal conductivities and are thus poor thermal conductor or good insulators. The atmospheric gases have only an insignificant 0.01 watt per meter Kelvin range between them, and therefore they're all very poor insulators, very good insulators of heat. Therefore, all the atmospheric components have a greenhouse effect on the climate. I repeat again, all atmospheric component has a greenhouse effect on the climate because of their low thermal conductivity or being good insulators. And as you can see from the comparative analysis on the right, at the top you see the atmospheric component and they're listed thermal conductivity, and as you can see, as I mentioned, they are similar in very low. The highest component with the highest thermal conductivity is water vapor, the cloud, which is fine water vapors, and that is even still very poor thermally, as a very poor thermal conductivity. To show you, to put everything in proper perspective, here listed below the atmospheric components are some non-atmospheric components, and as you can see, styrofoam, which is a very extremely poor thermal conductivity, as a thermal conductivity in the range of what is presented in carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen, very similar. Sand has a thermal conductivity of 2.95. Salt has a thermal conductivity of 7.20. Iron has a thermal conductivity of 75, and silver has a thermal conductivity of 428 watt per meter Kelvin. So as you can see, in the grand scheme of things, all the atmospheric components are extremely poor conductors or very good insulators of heat. Here we look at the special quality of specific density, also known as specific gravity. And what is specific density? Specific density or specific gravity is a measure of the force of gravity influence on the atmospheric component, and thus its ability to transfer heat away from the surface of the earth and up into the atmosphere for disposition. Specific density is computed by dividing the atmospheric component's density by that of the dry air density. A specific density of 1 means that the component is gravity neutral and tends to remain still in the atmosphere, neither moving up nor down. A specific density of less than 1 means that the component is positively buoyant and tends to want to naturally rise up in the atmosphere. A specific density greater than 1 means that the atmospheric component is negatively buoyant and tends to want to sink in the atmosphere and stay close to the sea level as possible. A specific density, the specific density is inversely proportional to the temperature. Therefore, the higher the temperature, the less the relative density becomes. And now we'll be looking at the comparative analysis of the atmospheric component in regards to the scientific property of specific density. And as you can see, they are sorted in regards to lowest to highest. And as you can see, water vapor has the lowest relative density, meaning that it is the most buoyant, and it would naturally want to rise into the atmosphere and take heat away from the atmosphere into the from the surface of the earth into the atmosphere. And as you can see, carbon dioxide is way down there. It's heavier than here, meaning that it wants to sink into the air, meaning that it plays the least amount of role in the transfer of heat, or the transfer of heat up into the atmosphere. As you can see, the cloud comes seconds. The reason why cloud have a relative density upon a relative density or a specific density of 0.820, and that is why cloud hovers in the sky, up in the sky. It is less dense than here, and that's why it floats in the air, up in the sky, and don't fall out as water does, or rain. Rainwater is very heavy, has a very high relative density, and therefore a strong pull on gravity, and thus therefore falls from the sky as opposed to the clouds. Here we'll have a comparative analysis of the next scientific property, and in this, the interaction with infrared radiation. So what is infrared radiation? A lot of people, there's a lot of talk around about what is infrared radiation, and most people have an idea, but we're going to get into it today and understand what infrared radiation does for the Earth. Infrared radiation is the band of radiation from the sun that, when absorbed by the earth matter, produce heat. Whether or not the atmospheric component is directly heated by the sun incoming or the earth outgoing, terrestrial infrared radiation play a great role in its ability to moderate the temperature of the atmosphere, and plays a great role in greenhouse gas, or in heat conservation, or in heat transport of air in the atmosphere, of heat in the atmosphere. Some component has no interaction with the Earth's normal infrared radiation range, and are mainly heated via conduction through their intimate interaction with the sun-heated Earth's surface. Some atmospheric components have a multiple absorption range via a wide range of the radiation, and plays a vital role in making life on Earth a possibility in capturing heat directly in the atmosphere. So the components' interaction with infrared radiation is absolutely important in the grand scheme of climate and its function in preserving heat and removing excessive heat from the atmosphere. And now we'll be looking at the comparative analysis. Here you see again water vapor or water droplets. They are absolutely heated by normal infrared radiation. Also, the water clouds, is also heated by infrared radiation. Argon is not, carbon dioxide is not, and oxygen is not. All these three gases are not heated by the Earth's normal infrared radiation, whether it be the infrared coming in from the sun, or the infrared going out by the terrestrial infrared radiation of the heated Earth's surface. And these are important because carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, actually oxygen carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen constitute almost 99% of the atmosphere. So therefore, if these were actually eaten directly by the sun, infrared radiation, life on Earth could not exist because it would have been just too hot. The temperature in the atmosphere would have been too hot to enable life to survive on Earth if these three gases were actually eaten by infrared radiation. Luckily for us, water vapor and the clouds are actually eaten and therefore provide enough heat for preservation and enough heat and enough heat removal to enable life to survive on Earth. Here, this is the final comparative analysis that we'll be doing, we'll be conducting, and it's one where we'll have an overall final comparative analysis will be done to put it all together by grading all the atmospheric components in regards to how potent each are at affecting the climate and weather. So this is the final comparative analysis, and this is it as follows. As you can see, on your left you have the property or abilities. You have first place, second place, third place, and fourth place. And the more, I would say the least important will be found in fourth place, and the most important will be found in first place. So the more potent the atmospheric component will be, the more it will come into first place. So as you can see, in regards to percentage composition, nitrogen comes first place. That's the highest percentage. Carbon dioxide is number 4. If you notice, we have left out the argon, because argon does not play much role in the moderation of temperature or the control of temperature on the Earth's surface in the atmosphere, so it was left out. But as you can see, in regards to the ability to hold and store heat, again, carbon dioxide becomes fourth. Its insulation ability or thermal conductivity is carbon is number 1 there. But as I had mentioned earlier, all the gases have very low specific heat capacity, thermal conductivity. So therefore, this would be this. Even though carbon dioxide is in first place in this measure, it does not make much of a difference in the grand scheme of things, because all the other gases and components also has very low thermal conductivity. In regards to its ability to move and transport heat, again, carbon dioxide is number last. Is fourth. Water vapor and the clouds are number 1, first place, because they are able to absorb a lot of heat and move it faster up into the atmosphere, where it's disposed as latent heat. So nitrogen and oxygen comes in second and and third place. In regards to ability to be directed, heated by infrared radiation, of course, vapor and water vapor and cloud becomes 1 and 2, becomes first place again, and because the rest of the atmospheric component is not affected by the sun direct infrared radiation, they are not graded. But again, carbon dioxide is one of those gas that is not directed either by by the sun in carbon radiation. So as you can see, carbon has gotten maybe 3 out of 4 for fourth place, showing how insignificant this gas is in in regulating in warming our climate as it is proposed by the climate alarmists. So what are some of the obvious conclusions? One, all the atmospheric components has a greenhouse effect in the atmosphere, all working to trap, transfer, moderate heat loss or gain from the Earth's surface. Secondly, it's also shown that some components are way more effective and crucial than others in this function of heat retention and movement due to their variant scientific properties. Some components are shown to be effective by nature of their high concentration in the atmosphere, moderately high specific heat capacity, and nearly neutral air density, such as nitrogen and oxygen. Other components were shown to be effective irrespective of their low concentration in the atmosphere by nature of their high specific heat capacity, low specific density, and their ability to be directly heated by infrared radiation such as water and the clouds. However, carbon dioxide gas has been shown to be the least effective and most insignificant of all the atmospheric components due to its very low specific heat capacity, very high specific density, and and and, and have and, and having a trace gas designation in the atmosphere, also with its inability to be heated by the sun. So therefore, the claim that the climate alarmist is making about carbon dioxide as a potent greenhouse gas is not only scientifically but also a physical impossibility. And it's time for this debate to be laid to rest so we can move on with repairing the damage that this corrosive hoax has placed on society, on mankind, and all those who are responsible for knowingly imposing this hoax on mankind. Okay, thank you all for welcome to the last slide in this video presentation. And in this slide, I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you about a few of my upcoming videos. And first and foremost, the next video that I would suggest that you guys have a look at is my site introductory um, video in which it stated the intention of my of this site to expose the great lies that have been perpetrated on societies. Um, the reason why this video was made secondary to the first one that you have already seen, that this video, it's because the need to have this information presented expeditiously to start the debunking process of the climate change. It was well needed to be done as quick as possible. So that's why I did my site introductory um, um, video secondarily. Secondly, we'll be in one of my next upcoming video, we'll be looking at the real causes of climate change. Because here I'm not saying that climate change is not real. That is not a claim that I'm making. I'm making because climate changes all the time. Climate range between two extremes all the time, either hot or cold. So climate is changing from an average to extremes. There's many form of climate change, and we'll be looking at in this video. We'll be looking at some of the bona fide causes of climate change. Another video we'll be looking at is Earth and its various spheres: hydrosphere, atmosphere, terrasphere, and we'll be looking at how they interact with each other and how they make life possible on Earth. Another one for that we'll be looking at pretty soon is infrared radiation. We'll be going full. We'll be going in deep dive, taking a deep dive into infrared radiation and making sure that this knowledge it gets out there and that people are not um, held ignorant. As there's a lot of ignorance um, surrounding this topic, and this video will dispel a lot and make sure that people are knowledgeable and that we cannot be fooled anymore. Also, we'll be looking at the very important water cycle, the relationship between the water vapor, the clouds, the rain, and heat transfer, heat disposition, heat retention, and all the other important factor of this cycle. Another upcoming video soon will be the carbon cycle, and this will shows the real importance of carbon dioxide and not some made up importance about it eating up the climate. So yes, as you can see, these are some of my upcoming video. I have at least 14 videos slated to come online over the next 4 to 5 months, and I'm gonna try to drop at least one video per week, maybe two per week from this point onwards. So yes, there's a lot of exciting information coming out about Earth and climate and atmosphere, and please, I'm excited to present it to you, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed preparing it for you guys. Thank you. See you in the next video.